Hello, y'all. So, listen, I'm going to try to make this quick, but we know it doesn't always go that way. But anyway, so recently I have been in some rooms, multiple rooms, different days, same conversation. Women who are looking to be married. I have been hearing this a lot lately. And I think that's something that you um aspire to be is to be a wife, and you feel like God has called you to be a wife, then cool. I've been married almost 18 years, so being married can be a beautiful thing, but it also comes with its challenges, just like anything else in life. And I think that from some of the conversations that I've overheard, that some people like the idea of being married, and there's a lot of things that people don't talk about, because there are some ugly things that come along with marriage. And a lot of it is just like miscommunication and just patience and compromise. Like, those are some key elements that in these conversations, like, I don't really hear like that's what people are wanting. And it's like surface level things that are not going to help you in terms of something long term. One thing that I would challenge women to ask themselves, because there was a question, like, what advice would you give someone who's been married as long as you have? What advice can you give for someone who seeks to be a wife? And one question that I would ask is, when a man gets you, what does he get? Right? Because of course you want someone that's going to bring things to the table, but what do you bring to the table? When somebody gets you, what is it that they get? Right? And so I think when you're in the waiting season of anything, but since we're talking about specifically marriage, if you are in the waiting season of finding a spouse, Lord, what is it that you would have me do? What would it be that you would have me work on to just prepare me? Because I feel like, looking back now, had I asked myself this question, I probably would not have gotten married as early as I did, because I think I was 23, 24. I was very young and figuring it out as I go. Um, I would like to say I wouldn't take anything back, but um I would like to do things differently. I would have liked to have worked on myself a whole lot more, just because there was a lot of character flaws I feel like I had, and I was figuring it out after I was already married. And I feel like things would have been so much better had I like done the work prior to getting married, and just establishing myself more, who I am, my identity. Like, early 20s, you're still trying to figure out who you are, what you like, what you don't. There's certain areas in our life that there's always room for improvement. But when you're preparing for a person to cling to for the rest of your life, are you really prepared to make sacrifices and compromise and shed off versions of yourself that don't necessarily fit in with that other person's life? Right? Like, both of you are going to come with baggage, and there's some stuff that you're just going to have to let go in order to be able to be one with someone else. And there's a lot of people who are just like, well, this is who I am. This is what you're going to get. And it's like that mindset, if that's where you are, I don't know, how you would expect. I don't see it. I can't see it, because there is a lot of bending that has to be done. When you're talking about anything long term, you are going to have to, there's some ideas and mindsets that you're just going to have to let go of. You're just going to have to let go of, because there's no room for ego. There's no room for any of that. And there's going to be a lot about you that you are going to have to let go of in order to make room for someone else. And they're going to have to do the same thing. But I'm just talking specifically to women, because these are the conversations that I have been a part of lately. And so instead of focusing on the waiting and how long it's taking and where is he, and the dating pool is this and that, what do I need to work on? There are areas in our lives that we know that we ain't got together yet. We need to do some deep cleaning in our lives, right? And so while you are waiting, you need to do like a moral inventory or something. I don't know if you need to write it down, whatever you need to do, put it in your note app. And you need to be honest with yourself about areas in your life where you have been struggling on getting a grip on some of your bad habits, the way that you think, some of your daily things that you do, things that don't fit into the life of someone that is looking to be married and be with the same person for the rest of your life. That's a long time. I mean, I don't know how much time I got, but I know how much time I done already spent with this man that I've been with. And we've been together for 20 years, over 20 years, but we've been married almost 18. That's a long time to be with the same person. And the person that you marry is not the same person 5 years or 10 or 15, 20 years. It's not the same person, because you are constantly changing. You are not the same person. You are evolving. Whether you're evolving into the person that you should be evolving into, or somebody else, but you're changing. And so with that, you still have to be able to be fluid in your thinking when it comes to marriage. And a lot of these real conversations that people need to be having prior to doing, what they think they want to do. I think if some of us may have had these conversations, we might have waited, or we wouldn't have been so pressed about, like, when is he coming or when is she coming? Because I know I'm not really ready yet. You know what I'm saying? When I think about it. And I think some of us, if we looked at it this way, we might not be so focused on the time that we had to wait. Because once you get in it, you're already in it. And so now you figuring it out while you're in it. And while, yes, God can make a miracle happen out of anything, but it just makes it that much more difficult because you didn't take the time to do it ahead of time. So now you're just being reactive, and you're in the moment, and then there's emotions, and then you got children in the picture. There's a lot of different elements to consider prior to getting married. And I want to continue this conversation later, but it's really been on my heart to talk about it, because this conversation has come up within the last month, I think maybe like 3 or 4 times. Same thing. So really the biggest takeaway that I would like for women who are asking this question is, while I'm waiting, what is it that I need to work on? What is the work while I wait? Like, what is it exactly that I need to be working on? What do I need to build? What are some mindsets that I need to shed? What is it? And I would say focus on that. And if you don't focus so much on how long it's taking and what you are to do right now in this season, what do I need to be doing? Then I think just having that shift, that mind shift, will encourage you to have a little more patience while you wait, because you're not ready yet. And it's like, Lord, I thank you for giving me more time to work on myself, because I might have jumped into something with someone that might not be the right person, because I'm not even who I need to be yet in order to be a wife. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that was my little 2 cents for now. And so I hope this helps somebody. Like I said, I do hope to continue this conversation again and elaborate a little more, but I just wanted to touch on this really quick because I think it's very important in these kind of conversations. People aren't talking about this. When you go on social media, it's just all of the cute stuff, the glitz, the glam, but nobody talks about getting to that, or behind closed doors, what's going on or what you needed to do. And a lot of times people have not done nearly half of the work that needs to be done to even get to that place. And then when a person gets into a relationship and it don't look like that, now you think it's something wrong with you, or it's something wrong with the other person. It's no, you didn't do what you needed to do to prep. There's a prep for everything. You got to prep when you go to school to be a dentist and all of it, you know, whatever it is, a doctor. Like, they don't just throw you in there and just let you start working on people. No, it's a process, right? So even more so with the person that you are going to spend the rest of your life with. Baby, knowing what I know, whatever work needs to be done, let me know, because it'll make things a lot easier. Things will go a lot smoother. You'll be more understanding of why certain things happen the way that they happen, or why this person is like this. Take your time, honey. Take your time. I know some of us, we might be getting up there in age and we feeling like, Lord, I'm running out of time. Baby, you ain't running out of time. Work on you. Do what you need to do. Just start building your character. Let God stretch you, honey. Let him stretch you. So when you get to that, I'm coming. When you get to that place, you're going to be ready and you're going to know, like, Lord, thank you. This is it. This is it. So anyway, y'all, thank you for your time. Thank you for lending me your ear. And until next time, I'll see y'all. We'll continue this later. Thank you.